Many public spaces are ecosystems filled with tightly connected webs of living and non-living things. Examples of living things are grass, insects, birds, trees, bears, and worms. Some examples of non-living things are the sun, rocks, swings, shells, and wind. Both living and non-living things are essential for keeping an ecosystem healthy and balanced. An ecosystem is a community of biological organisms and the physical things they need to survive. Which are more important, living or non-living things? Neither one is more important than the other. Rather, they both are important to the balance, health, and functioning of the entire ecosystem. Their interactions with each other help create this balance. Many birds need trees to build their nest. Trees need water to keep them hydrated. Water needs to remain clean to provide fish with a healthy and safe home, including other animals and plants that use it to drink. The number of interactions in an ecosystem can grow rapidly when you take time to examine all the connections that exist between living and non-living things. When we consider all the interactions that take place in an ecosystem, such as this visual web from a city park, we see there are many interactions connected to each part of the ecosystem. We can use the numbers gathered representing these unique interactions to create a numerical expression. This numerical expression can help us solve for the total number of interactions in that ecosystem. A numerical expression is simply a phrase involving numbers and one or more math operations. For example, 13 times 34 is a numerical expression, and so is 5 times 3 plus 4. In this web, ladybugs, flowers, trees, soil, and water each have 5 interactions. We can represent this by writing the numerical expression 5 times 5. Birds have 6 interactions, so we can add 6 to our numerical expression. Gophers have 3 interactions in this ecosystem, so we can also add 3. When we solve for this numerical expression, we find that this visual web represents 34 interactions that take place in this ecosystem. What would happen if a non-living thing were to be affected by pollution? How would it affect the entire ecosystem? Take, for example, water in a lake ecosystem. Imagine it being deeply impacted by pollution. Perhaps people are dumping garbage or chemicals in the water, harming it. How would it affect the fish that swim and live in it, the birds that drink and catch food, and the plants that drink up that water to help them grow? Well, the fish may begin to die. The birds may fly away and not stay to eat or even nest if they can't drink or catch their food. And plants may stop growing or also die, which can impact the animals that use those plants for food, shade, and protection. More living and non-living things that depend on the fish, birds, and plants would also be impacted. Can you see how harming one part of an ecosystem can create an imbalance to the environment and much bigger problems? In the accompanying activity, choose a public space you want to learn more about and identify living and non-living things that make up that ecosystem. Identify all the different ways they interact and depend on each other to thrive by creating a visual web. Then practice writing numerical expressions to find the total number of interactions that exist in that ecosystem. Consider actions one can take to protect that public space and ecosystem. What are 3 rules people can follow to protect living and non-living things in that space? Public space guardians do just that. They consider their actions and the impact they have to a public space. Many public spaces are ecosystems filled with interactions between living and non-living things. Each part depends on one another for survival and optimal health. We can all take actions to ensure these spaces are respected, cared for, stay healthy, and balanced.